So Zak Brown, the CEO of McLaren, has been coming out with some interesting quotes recently about the departure of Christian Horner at Red Bull Racing, saying that him leaving the team was not a surprise, but the timing of it was. And I think that does resonate with a lot of people. A lot of people are not too surprised in the sense that Horner has left Red Bull. Just the timing of it. It seems very strange to let go of your CEO and your team principal over the last 20 years, mid-season. Very, very odd to say the very least. And we still don't know the official reason behind Christian Horner leaving Red Bull. And if you ask Christian Horner, he also allegedly does not know. Let's have a look at what Mr. Brown has had to say about Horner's departure from Red Bull here. Full article on the F1Chronicle.com as always, guys. Zak Brown says that Christian Horner's exit from Red Bull Racing caught him off guard only because of the timing, not the decision itself. Horner was dismissed 2 weeks ago after 20 years of leading Red Bull's Formula One team. While the move sent shockwaves through the paddock, Brown told TSN that he wasn't surprised that it happened. Maybe the timing, but not the result, Brown said. There has been a lot of drama over there over the last couple of years. That is a masterpiece of understatement. So it doesn't seem like that drama has been calming down. Maybe it's been getting worse. So I'm not surprised. Any time in the middle of the season, but we're head down on our championship. And that's what all McLaren fans want to see. Both championships heading to Woking for the first time since 1998. I'm loving that. Brown's McLaren squad currently leads both the constructors and the drivers' standings, but he acknowledges that Max Verstappen and Red Bull remain in the fight. They've got Max still knocking on the door, so we've got to pay attention to that. But yeah, tremendous amount of success they've had. I respectfully disagree that Max Verstappen is still in the title fight. I think it's over. I thought it was over after Spain personally, but I've not seen anything that really shows me that he's still in it personally. On Saturday in qualifying, you can put it in pole, but right now in the race, McLaren look absolutely unstoppable. Horner's departure came a year after an internal investigation into sexual misconduct allegations from a former Red Bull employee. While he remained in charge following that inquiry, tensions within Red Bull reportedly continued to simmer. His exit was announced with a formal statement that included thanks from Red Bull's CEO of Corporate Projects and New Investments, Oliver Mintzlaff. Since his dismissal, Horner has kept a low profile aside from a short farewell speech to staff and a message on social media. He hasn't confirmed whether he will remain in motorsport. Brown, who has long had a competitive rivalry with Horner, said he expects the 51-year-old to land somewhere in the racing world. Given his age and his history in motor racing, I'd be surprised if he didn't show up somewhere else in motor racing. But I don't know his other interests, whether he wants to run a football team or what have you, so we'll see. I mean, I thought that he'd make a great politician personally here in the UK. He does seem like somebody who would very much fit into the role of a member of parliament, but let's not talk about UK politics here. It's just plain depressing most of the time. But yeah, I mean, listen, I expect him to be back at some point. I think most people will agree that the timing is strange. You know, it really is. And I do get the point that Red Bull have declined and it's been on his watch. You know, you can't deny that Red Bull now are in a far worse position than they were 2 years ago. And, you know, whether it's Horner's fault or not, the buck stops with him. He was the CEO. So, you know, it has to go down to him. They're looking like getting fourth this year in the Constructors. They got third last year. They're not going to win the Drivers' Championship with Verstappen this year. I will die on this hill. I can't see him doing it. I just can't. He's great. He's fantastic, but no, it's just too big of a gap, and that Red Bull is far too inconsistent. You know, the facilities at Red Bull, it's nowhere near top-notch anymore. Aren't they still using that old World War II or Cold War aerodrome thing for their wind tunnel? You know, it's not really good, to be honest. So yeah, you have to take some responsibility if you're Christian Horner for that. So it very much seemed as though at the time was going to arrive, but strange how it was that time. Strange how it was just a few weeks ago. But guys, get your thoughts in the comments below. Why was Horner sacked? What was the real reason? I want to hear what you have to say as always. Like, share, comment, subscribe as always, guys. And have a fantastic weekend. And let's hope for a great Belgian Grand Prix this weekend around Spa-Francorchamps.